Very happy to go right to our bench racing hotline where we are joined by the 2013 Camping World Truck Series champion. If he can just find his way to Florida, Matt Crafton joins us. Hey, Matt, welcome to the show.
Yeah, exactly. Don't jinx. I got to still start the race.
Well, okay. I think you'll be able to do that without a whole lot of trouble. The question is, are you guys going to take like 9 trucks down there just to make sure that you have enough, or is that the reason Kimmel's showing up?
No, we get quite a few. We'll just put it that way. I mean, we got to go down there and try to finalize this owners championship as well. I mean, that's going to make a lot for Duke and Ron Thorson and me as well to be able to give them the owners championship, not just the drivers championship. So we go out there and finish 18th or better to beat the 51 Kyle Busch team. So that's our goal for the weekend, and hopefully go out there and win the championship, owners championship, and take home the trophy. Well,
that in some ways, I guess that's a good thing that you actually have that owners championship to kind of look as a carrot out in front of you a little bit, I guess. The other thing is that if the other way to look at it, I suppose, is that, you know, with the championship pretty much under your belt, as far as the championship for you, you can go out and try and win the race. You don't have to be conservative at all, if indeed you've been conservative. Have you changed anything over the last couple of races, trying to make sure that you hit the goal that you guys are looking for?
Oh, absolutely. Just racing smarter. I mean, just trying to stay at any bad position, not get tore up. I mean, we do that every week. But at the same time, we definitely try to be a little bit smarter yet and be there at the end.
Was there anything, a point in this season kind of where you looked at it and said, this thing is so doable and we're well within the reach of the goal we want to have? Was there like a turning point in the season in your mind?
No, I mean, we started off the season strong. I mean, we knew we were going to carry the momentum from last year, and we had a lot of momentum. Last 5 races of the season last year, we were very, very strong and had a really good runs, and I thought we should have won a couple of the last 5 races of the season, if not all 5. And we had a shot and just never had the luck that we had this year. And just everything, all the stars and moons and everything lined up for us, and it worked. And that's like, you got to be lucky and you got to be good at the same time. And we have both of those this year.
We're talking to Matt Crafton, who's the driver of the number 88 Toyota Tundra for Thor Sports Racing and current leader, a prohibitive leader going into the last race of the Camping World Truck Series. Matt, you made a real interesting comment a couple minutes back about going down there and not only trying to get to the owners championship for Thor Sports, but also beating the Kyle Busch ride, which comes into that truck series every once in a while and is pretty darn good. Steve and I had a big kind of an argument in the segment right before this about is it unfair that Busch comes in? What makes Kyle Busch so tough to beat in a series like the Camping World Truck Series? Is it just his talent? Is it equipment? What is it?
I mean, he's definitely a very good racer, but at the same time, just seat time. I mean, he races. We race 22 races a year. He probably races 12 truck races a year and probably 28 roughly of nationwide races and 36 race and all late model race. I bet he races 100 times a year. So that's what, like I said, I'm not saying he's any better than any of us, but he just has more seat time. And the same thing, I went down and raced against a guy that 5 times a year. I mean, they definitely have the upper hand than having more seat time. And then when you're in a vehicle, the truck, the nationwide car, and the cup car on the same weekend, I mean, it's benefit. I mean, I actually had that this year when I drove the nationwide car for RCR, and just a little bit I was in that car. I mean, I think it bled over and actually helped me in the truck. It was definitely a good thing, and Kyle even gets that much more of it.
So, do you think it does it make the playing field less level? I mean, is it kind of in a way? I know you're not going to say it, but is it kind of unfair that you got a guy like Busch who is talented and then has all this seat time? It's in excess of not just you, but other guys that are, that could maybe beat him in one of these truck races. Is it unfair? Should Nationwide do something about that? Because Steve thinks they should.
Absolutely not.
Okay.
If we're gonna go race with them on Saturday or Sunday or whatever day it is, we'll run a cup car at some point in your deal. You're going to have to race against those guys, so you better figure out a way to run with them and be able to beat them. And like I said, I mean, he has beat us some this year, and we have beat him some. So I said we've done our job pretty good, and at the same time, like you said, he's got a lot of seat time.
We were talking with Matt Crafton, and Matt, you talked about how consistent you've been, and that's kind of been what has gotten you to a championship this year. Is there a reason in your mind that the consistency has been there, or is it just one of those things where sometimes all the cards line up the right way for you?
Just everything lines up. I mean, at the end of the day, that's what it's all about. I mean, just having luck, not just having fast trucks. That's not everything. I mean, we had fast trucks at the end of the season last year, and we weren't able to win a race. And like I said, we kept getting tore up from other people's mistakes. And this year, and we got tore up in Talley and Martinsville from other people's stupidity. But besides that, we had pretty good runs.
Talk about your trucks this year on a consistent basis. Again, I take it that the trucks that you've had underneath you have been good race in and race out.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, we've had very, very good trucks, and at the same time, we've had very good luck as well. So, like I said, we just got to go into Homestead and take off the gloves and do whatever we got to do to win the race.
Everybody talks about certain tracks they like, and they generally drivers don't say that they dislike most tracks because they think it's bad luck, or I guess. But what's your feelings about Miami Homestead? Is it a track that you've had success at, and a track that you like to run?
Oh, absolutely. I'd say it's definitely one of the top 5 race tracks I like going to, without a doubt. I mean, I was a racer a couple times this year, to be totally honest, but it's cool that it's the last one, and it's got character. I mean, you can move around on a racetrack a lot, and it's got multiple grooves. That's what makes it so fun as a racetrack driver, is you're not just glued in one spot. When you go to some of these racetracks where we go to, everybody's running around the white line because that's the fastest spot and it's got the most grip. So it's always nice to be able to move around.
Matt, you're you're a veteran of that truck series now, and you're gonna stamp a championship on it this year. You race with a bunch of young guys though too. There are guys out there that are coming up through the field, and I'm sure they have plans to move on. Who's impressed you this year? Young drivers. Who's maybe been the guy that you see has really jumped out at you?
Jeb Burton. Jeb Burton, that kid he is an awesome little racer driver. He's very mature for his age. I mean, he knows how to race. He's not like some of these drivers that I've raced that are younger drivers that are just, they don't have the respect yet and the respect for people's equipment, and they just make more mistakes. That kid has been a class act to race with from Daytona to Phoenix. I mean, each and every time you're around him, you feel that, I mean, that kid's under control. I mean, he respects you. He's not going to do anything stupid. I mean, another one that Ryan Blank, I mean, that kid's been very, very good. He's been in very good equipment as well. And those are the two that really stood out. And Ross Chastain is another one that really stood out. In the first half of the year, I wouldn't have said what I had to say now. I said he was a little more wild at that point. But the last half of the season, he's definitely done a great job.
All right, well, we know there's a big party that's going to be planned after you get this championship under your belt. Hopefully there'll be a manufacturer's championship, owner's championship as well. What's Matt Crafton going to do after all the partying's over with for the winter? You got some plans?
I plan on going out to Southern California where it's a lot warmer. That's my big deal, is go out there in the middle of the desert and take the family and take my buggy and motor home and relax and not have any cell phone service.
There you go.
Well, it is kind of tough having to deal with the Sandusky winter, so luckily you won't have to mess with that. Which brings up the last question I have for you. We've got a team that has got 2 championships now from Sandusky. You've got an ARCA championship with Frank. You're going to have the truck championship. Kurt Busch has run really well in that Furniture Row team out of Denver. Do you think that the teams are going to start moving out of North Carolina, or are you guys still kind of the rogue team?
Nah, I mean, nobody's going to move away just to be able to win a championship without a doubt. But it just shows that it can be done. We'll put it that way. But, there's so many people that, think it has to be done down here. There is pluses about living in North Carolina or having a race team in North Carolina, and there's a lot of negatives about it. There's a lot of people to draw from, but at the same time, it doesn't get you another $25 a week. You'll work at another shop across the street.
Yeah.
I almost guarantee you they're going to roll their fuel costs across the street, and you don't have to worry about that when you're in Ohio. When they're there, you see them there to stay a little longer without a doubt.
All right. Well, Matt, thanks for being on the show. Congratulations on your pending truck championship. We're big-time fans of yours and ThorSport. And enjoy the party afterwards and enjoy your time off.
Yeah, Matt, thanks a lot for your time this year. I know you've been on a couple of times, and we really, really do appreciate it, and the fans do too. So.
No problem.
Thank you.
Okay, take care.
Matt Crafton.
All right.
2013
Camping World Truck Series champ.